Hello, I am Juniper from Pahoa, Hawaii. My manifesto isn't a manifesto, it's a manifesta. The reason for this is that in the Spanish language, words that end with an O are masculine, and words that end with an A are feminine. Since I am a young woman speaking about empowering other young women, it is only appropriate that I call my call to action a manifesta. This is a manifesta about feminism. To me, being a feminist means empowerment, taking action for equality of all genders, creating community, and forging connections. For me, being a feminist means sparking dialogues. In addition to talking about my journey as a feminist, I'll be showing some artwork I made that visualizes this transition. Growing up, I never heard the word feminist, but feminism was all around me. My father raised my sister and me with great love and respect, supporting us in everything we wanted to do. We are raised to be independent with all the regulations of most households. We are allowed to make our own mistakes and decisions, and this helped us learn our own lessons and speak up for what we wanted. Even in the sixth grade, when it was time to move from my public elementary school to the public middle and high school across the street, I was able to speak for what I wanted. I did not want to go to the same public school system I had for the last 6 years. When I looked across the street, I saw harassment, bullying, and a not-so-great education system. I wanted a better education, a better social environment, and a better community than what the public school system would have been able to provide. My parents enrolled my sister and me in our charter school, Hawaii Academy of Arts and Science, or HAAS, down the road. So Hui Malama, a middle school branch of HAAS, was the first place where I was challenged and introduced to new things. This project-based middle school pushed my classmates and me to reach out of our comfort zones to experience and learn new things. We are empowered to develop interest in science, technology, engineering, and math. We developed our presentation skills and spent a lot of time working outdoors in Hawaii's endangered environments. I developed my work ethic and passions. Randy Brennan, a great science enthusiast, supporter of women in STEM, and one of my most encouraging teachers and mentors, was always willing to give me new opportunities. She empowered me to have faith in myself and to develop an enthusiastic view of all opportunities. One of these many opportunities I was offered was a marine science camp at the University of Southern California on Catalina Island. I decided to take a leap of faith, and with her support and that of my Aunt Ruth, I applied and was accepted. I went to the program for free and was able to learn about and connect with people and environments beyond the island that I had lived on for all my life. Randy also introduced me to Coastal Studies for Girls and guided me through the application and fundraising processes. She has been a consistent mentor and example of the power of women and the power I have within myself. However, there were times in my life when I also felt powerless. As with many young women, I experienced a lot of self and body image challenges while in middle school. I did not appreciate my body and spent a lot of time criticizing how I looked while comparing myself to others. I felt that I needed to be skinny and pretty. I thought of myself in terms of how others saw me. Middle school was a time of social dramas, like who was dating who, what one girl said to another girl, and feeling awkward. I was trying to figure out who I was and what I wanted, separate from a society of materialism that influences every person. It is difficult to not want to fit in and be liked by peers, or to not care about which boy likes you. But it is important for every girl to have mentors that help her have confidence and care for herself. It is important for her to think in terms of how she is as a person, not how she looks. It is important for every girl to be empowered. With the guidance of my own mentors, I was able to put aside these feelings of inadequacy once I was in high school. And I was inspired to be one of the founding leaders of my school's chapter of the national organization called Girl Talk. It is a space for high school women to help guide middle school girls through the difficult times of puberty, peer pressure, and social norms. I wanted to make sure that every girl had the support and personal connections to feel confident about themselves and their abilities. At this point, I still didn't consider myself a feminist, even though I had developed the mindset of one. Once at CSG, I learned a lot about feminism. At a program that is meant to help young women like myself empower themselves in their communities, I learned that I'm a person who values relationships and equality for all. I learned that a single woman is powerful, but a group of women together is the most powerful force. After a while, I came to feel comfortable around and love all the girls in RAs. Looks and appearances didn't matter. We wore PJs to classes, and some of us never brushed our hair. We didn't wear makeup. There's no need for fancy clothes. There is so much more to a person than appearance. Their passions, hobbies, viewpoints of the world, experiences, what makes her laugh, and the connections we forge are the most powerful. I was encouraged to be my authentic self at CSG. I shared my thoughts, worries, and ideas without fear of being ridiculed or judged. I learned that vulnerability is the key to connection, and connection is the key to empowerment and happiness. Together, we could all act ridiculously goofy wherever we were. After all, it is always 8 o'clock somewhere. Before CSG, I had never experienced such wholehearted love with another group of people that wasn't my family. It has taken years to even get to that point within my relationships with my best friends, but it's different with these 14 other young women and 4 mentors. It has taken us only 4 months. We supported each other as we snowshoed 16 miles in the freezing cold, as we were honest about our feelings in community council, through the shared homework and marine science presentations, to backpacking for a week on the Bold Coast and on Hurricane Island, and to finally going home to our families, our first homes. Through all the hard times and funny times, we connected and were all willing to listen and support each other. This love and support is what has made these 14 young women and 4 mentoring women my sisters. This love, connection, and support is what I hope to experience again as I move forward in my life as a feminist. Connection is why it is important for women to come together and talk about the problems they face. In isolation, we worry that we are the only ones going through a problem, but often others also face the same problem. There is real power in connection. They may find, like I have, that they too believe in feminism or the taking of action for equality of all genders. Some problems many women face are poor body image and self-image as a result of a society that only views women as objects. Other obstacles experienced by women are how women are viewed in the media, domestic abuse, the lack of women in STEM fields, and access to abortion and birth control. Even problems that aren't only limited to women, like marriage equality, how society views LGBTQ people, and worldwide environmental problems. When women are able to be vulnerable and be their authentic selves, they make powerful connections with each other. Through these powerful, authentic connections, they are empowered to make changes, just like I have been. My goal is to redefine the middle school girls group I've been running at home for the past year into a group for discussion and action, so these effects of community and connection can be achieved just like they have been at CSG. My goal is to foster an environment where young women are praised and supported for being who they are and are empowered to find their own passions and make changes in their communities. Finally, I would like to thank my family, my community in Hawaii, and Randy Brennan for their continuous support in helping me get to CSG. I'd also like to thank all the staff, teachers, my 14 sisters, and 4 new mentors at CSG. Thank you all for listening.